What is going on YouTube? It's Hated Ops. Welcome back to another video. This is my first time doing a tutorial on the best sliders of the game. I did mention that the other sliders I made, it was not featured in this video. So I do apologize for that due to the fact that some of the videos were taken down because of some space issues and all that. So I had to delete some videos because it didn't have enough space.
Turn it back on, please. I'm hot now.
But anyway, so the sliders that I am about to show you right now, I know that I've noticed that some of the sliders that I've been doing as of late, I wasn't really enjoying them as much because why? Considering the fact that the opponent and the player didn't really have a long match, so I wanted to put it back to where everything was when I started live streaming the first game of WWE 2K22. So if I can, I probably would just make another video on the best sliders, and then you guys can try them out. But however, these sliders are pretty tricky. I know they're not the best, but they're also a good way to also eliminate matches that are really fast. And it is very predictable that when you're in the ring with your opponent, just like you're watching in real life, and the first thing you see is a superstar getting stomped on, their arms are getting broken, they're having injuries and all that. So that stuff, it happens on WWE. That's professional wrestling. That's why they do those. But that will be talked about on another later date. So right now, we're about to show you guys on the gameplay. This right here, I usually leave those on. These are optional for you guys. But if you are new and you want to see more of these tutorials, leave a thumbs up. Alright? So for this right here, this is difficulty. So depending on what you want your match to look like, I would say Legend, in my opinion, because Legend is where you and your opponent can have a long-lasting match. If you put it on easy, it's not going to last longer. And you will have to do all the work by putting your opponent to your announce table, putting your opponent down, you know, blah, 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 when you could have just put it on normal or hard. So there are 3 difficulties you can also put. You can put easy, normal, hard, and legend. There are actually 4 of those. But if you're going to put it on Legend, I highly suggest for you guys to also lower down your sliders. The best it can fit you is having it on there. So whatever you feel comfortable with your sliders, I would suggest put it on Legend or easy, normal, or hard. It is entirely up to you guys if you guys want to leave those on and off. So moving on to weight detection. That's simulation. You don't need to change it. If you want to, you can put it on arcade or simulation. You're totally fine with that. Pin mini game timed. Allow health input for mini games on. That's like if you want to input your games for the sliders, just keep them on, because why not? It doesn't make sense to put it off, because when you put it off, then you don't know what you're doing. For rope break, I would suggest to put it on, because whenever like you are close to finishing your opponent with the finishing move, and your opponent is close to the ropes, then there's a good chance that your opponent is gonna be able to put his or her foot on the ropes. So if you put this on, that's a good idea. But if you put it off, then you don't have to worry about your opponent being put in the ropes and forcing your player to also break the count. So auto reversal for ground attacks off because you don't need them. If you want it on, then you're gonna have to deal with a lot of reversals and reversals and reversals, and that's not what you want. You don't want to deal with that. Only put it if you're about to reverse. Let's say a finishing move. Let's say you're about to reverse a share shot or anything like that. Keep it on. Optional if you want to leave it on or off. That's up to you guys. If you feel like changing it, change it on another later date. Moving on to entrance run and play mode. Keep this on player. And for mid-match run and play mode, play payback. So let me explain to you guys about play mode and entrance running. So that's like, let's say you are actually Roman Reigns and someone named Austin Theory comes out and attacks you from behind. If you put this on, that's what you're gonna get. And then your opponent is gonna get attacked from the previous player. But if you decided to put it off, then you don't have to worry about your opponent or anybody is attacking from behind. But that's if you want to have your play mode to be run in. But only if the opponent is about to cash in Money in the Bank, I would suggest put it on player or put it on. So optional if you want. Mid-match run and play mode, that's like your superstar or opponent is getting interrupted by another opponent or whatever. Definitely want to keep it on payback because that's like if you're gonna pay something back and you want revenge, keep it on play mode on payback. Post-match run and play mode on, of course, and blood on, subtitles off, tutorial tips off, and edited created superstars allowed. So now moving on to presentation. Superstar HUD on, but if you want to put it off, you can put it off. So I don't know what this is, but tell me in the description what the superstar HUD means, because I really don't know about that. Okay, I'm kind of entirely new to these presentations. I've been using these for about 4 months or so, or 5 months. I still don't know what that is. So if you guys can help me out, leave a comment below and tell me what you guys think about that. So fatigue, put it on, because depending on how long the match goes and if you're about to hit a certain amount of a finishing move with your meter and your opponent is stunned on the ground and you just do whatever it takes to put your opponent away, you could put this on fatigue. Fatigue is one of the best sliders you can possibly have. I suggest keep it on because if you put it off, then you won't be able to have a tired finishing move. For example, I saw Survivor Series in 2007 when Undertaker and Batista had their rivalry. After the Undertaker returned about 3 months later, after he took some time off because he had this match with Batista at Backlash. So I think he was out until at least September, and that's when he came back to get his vengeance on Mark Henry. And then they had a match on Cyber Sunday and Survivor Series. Now, here's the part that I want to tell you about Survivor Series. I've been seeing Hell in a Cell since, I can't remember like how long it's been since I've been seeing it, but I've been seeing these Hell in a Cell matches for years. And it's a brutal, red and hot, sticky Hell in a Cell where you and your opponent are going through hell, and you have to put your opponent to an announce table or put your opponent away by putting any pressure by any means necessary. Here's an example. Edge spears Undertaker, and then he brings Batista putting his arm on the Undertaker's chest, have the referee to pin him 1, 2, 3. That's what the fatigue is for. So whenever your opponent's tired and you're about to put him away, keep it on. That's why they call it fatigue, for a reason. Control help, match rating HUD on. I think I said making. I'm sorry. I meant to say control help and match rating HUD. I meant to say rating, not making. But if you want to have it on, you can have it on. But honestly, I don't really care about control help because I already know what to do about that. Reversal prompt off, because depending on how long you want to reverse it, there's no time limit. I'm just saying, if you want to put it off, put it off. If you want to put it on, put it on. Feel free to change these settings if you want to. Camera cuts, I would say on. Camera shakes on. Camera panning on. Post-match replay on. Run in breakout HUD off. Display referee counts off. Watermark image on. And controller vibration on. Moving on to presentation. So all of these 6 sliders are off because I'm starting to see that things weren't looking good on the first matchup. So I feel like my opponent and myself didn't have a great match because the match didn't last longer. And I wanted to have it where my sliders are comfortably and it feels realistic. So now I need to find a video or find another slider where I can make it where the superstar and the opponent can make it where it's harder for the opponent to be able to win. So make it where it's hard and it could last longer by using these settings. I guarantee you 9 times out of 10 other people have been saying that these sliders are the best. Some people say it's not the best in their opinion, that I think their sliders are better than this because so. You do what you want. If you feel comfortable with the sliders and you want that to be realistic, if you want to use these sliders, pause and put these down and tell me what you think. If you don't like it, feel free to put it back where it was, and then you can also change it later if you want to try other sliders. Okay, it's your choice. You do what you want. It's up to you guys. If you feel comfortable with the sliders, go for it. If you don't feel comfortable with it, feel free to change it. So I put these on 0 just so it could be like a challenging moment for the opponent and the AI to have like a physical fight in the ring. So when that happens and you're about to Irish whip your opponent, that's when your opponent is about to reverse. Now I put them off because I do not like when my opponent and myself are reversing it too much. So I always want to reverse it maybe like 2 or 3 times, and that's about it. So let's go ahead and let's give it a try for the AI standing strike. Reversal rate at 0. AI standing grapple reversal rate at 0. AI ground strike reversal rate 0. AI ground grapple reversal rate at 0. AI finisher reversal rate at 0. AI foreign object attack reversal rate at 0. Interest running. If you want to keep it at 2, keep it at 2. If you want to keep it at 10, keep it at 10. All 3 of them are at 10. That's only if the opponent is about to cash in the Money in the Bank. So keep those on if you can. Moving on to referee downtime. I put it off because it doesn't really matter if the referee is up or down. So it's going to be the same thing if you put it on 0 to 100. But if I was to keep it on 0, then your referee is going to stand up. And whenever you try to hit him with an object, he is just going to keep coming back up. But if you was to put out 100, then that's when your referee is about to stay down for like maybe like 2 or 3 seconds or so, and he come back up. So basic reversal windows, I put it at 0 because I don't really need these on. I just want to keep it off because I feel like I should, and I think this will also make a difference without having to fear that my reversals are going to keep coming back up. And then that's when your opponent's about to stand back up. And it's going to be faster, and it's going to be a horrible match. You don't want that. But do what you want to do with the sliders. If, like I said, if you feel uncomfortable with these settings, feel free to change them and find one of the best settings ever. I'm not saying that all of the settings are the best, but some of them are the best, some of them aren't. But if you want to look for the best sliders, I highly suggest you check out a YouTuber named Wacky Cat, because I'm sure he has some best sliders you can use of his, and you should check it out and find out if you like it. Leave a like, subscribe, and hit this notification bell if you want to check him out, because he really has the best sliders ever. So if you want to get some of his sliders, go ahead. I'm telling you, 9 times out of 10, when you see those sliders and you start to like them more, you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, this match is gonna be realistic, and it's gonna make it where it's longer, not shorter, and it's gonna be like a bam, bada boom, bada bing. So keep going with these sliders. Tell me what you think. Leave a like on the hard it, and I'll reply back. So moving on to ground attack reversal windows, I put it on 0 because I don't need to have it on 100. Signature and finisher reversal, I put it at 0. Weapon reversal at 0. Stamina cost at 100. So I actually wanted to put these down like every. Alright, I'm sorry. Sorry for the stuttering. Okay. I apologize. So I might change these sliders on the next video, but for now I'm gonna try these, and I'm gonna see if I can choose another opponent for the next video, and I'm gonna update y'all if these changes are made on this video. So if I do not like these sliders and I feel like it's too much to handle, then I will have to change these sliders and manually set it back to 50. So everything's going to be back at 50 for my sliders. If I want to keep it at 50. By pressing default, then all your settings are going to be at default. So if I do that, then I'll have to lower down my sliders again and put it to a lower amount or the higher amount of the sliders numbers. So stamina cost means if your opponent or your superstar is about to be stunned and he's running out of stamina, and if you kick your opponent in the head, skull, chest, leg, he's out. The longer he stays out, the harder it is going to be for your opponent to get back up. Imagine if both of you guys are in a match and you're colliding, and you or the opponent has your arm like this, and you just hit each other with the elbow, or if you was to Hadouken kick your opponent, and your opponent just reverses back and hits you with another move, both of you are going to be colliding with every move that you have on the game. Boom. And then that's when you and the opponent are stunned, and your referee is going to have to count to 10. If that happens on the next game, 2K23, I'm here for it. So we'll have to wait in 2 months for them to announce when 2K23 is coming out. They said it's gonna come out either October or March of 2023. So we'll have to find out when it's gonna come out. But they upload every single game every year. It comes out on October of every year. So this year it should be coming out, I should say, around October or November or next year. So let's see what happens this year. And if it doesn't come out, then it will come out next year. So let me know what you guys think about 2K23, and if you want to get it, I would say pre-order it at GameStop or any other game, because I'm telling you, you're gonna love it. I'm gonna love it too. I highly doubt it's gonna be a better game than this, because I've been having problems with the blue screen, and every time I play the game, it's always a problem with the blue screens. It's a problem, man. I'm sick of it. I need a better game than that. Alright, moving on to stamina recovery rate. I put it on 0. Stun recovery rate at 0. Rollout frequency at 0. Rollout duration at 0. Stun gain at 100. So I put these two at 100 just so like you can gain your stun, and then you can actually do a couple of moves to stun gain your opponent. And that also will include like covering your opponent, having some kickouts or whatever. Same with stun duration. During the match, you're stunning your opponent, and it just keeps the match alive without having to fear about losing the match so quickly. Vitality regain cooldown. Alright. Let me explain to you guys about that. Vitality regain cooldown is how long it takes to start regenerating vitality health after not getting attacked. At 0, it will recover health as fast as it can, thus producing longer matches. Like you mentioned, as long as there are a few reversals, vitality regain rate is how much health it's getting regenerated. The higher the number, the higher the health per second. At 100, it also increased match duration. Another way to increase the duration of the matches is lower offense stats of each wrestler and increase the durability. I have drastically changed the stats of my roster, and I am getting 8 to 16 minutes per singles match, and 10 to 24 minutes of tag teams. Your last tip is a very good special meter, not getting filled quickly. I feel the special and finisher meters are the most to increase the time of matches. I have put all my roster at 30 for special and finisher, so it takes them a little bit to fill theirs. And if it's going to be a squash match, I just change the match settings so fast so it's over faster. So this is not what I said, but this was from Frank Fowler, who actually commented on Wacky Cat's video. So I am reading this comment from him, and I have to agree that the regen cooldown is how long it takes to start regenerating vitality health. So if you was to lower down the vitality regen cooldown at 15, then there's a lower chance that it's not going to be a longer match. Perhaps it could be a possibility that the match could end quickly. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't know too much about vitality regen cooldown. So let me know if what do you guys think about that. Now for vitality regen rate, I put at 100 because having it at 0, it's not the best bet. But I guarantee you, if you want to put it at that level, that's how things are going to change drastically. Now for AI difficulty, damage scaling at 0, drag escape difficulty, and carry escape difficulty at 0 to 100. Alright, so that's it. these are the sliders I've actually choose from my experience. I tried it. It was looking good at the beginning, but now it seems like it's not. So if anything happens to my sliders, I will update you guys on the next video on what is going to be for my next video of the sliders. And hopefully I can pick another slider that will also make the matches to look more realistic, and it can also feel like is a real life match. So like I say, I do not want the match to last 5 minutes. I want every superstar on this roster, on this game, I want to face another superstar that has different AI as me, and I have my own AI. And if I'm facing that particular person, I want to make sure that each of us are getting some reversals and finishing moves and putting each other on the announce tables, and that way the opponent can stand back up if he or she is having a lower stamina cost, or if I'm having a higher stamina cost, or if we're both are colliding, just pushing each other apart in the match, or if we're just brawling out. I want the match to feel like it's normal, to feel like it's WWE, like you're in a match with your opponent that you have problems with, and you want to set that aside to make it where the kickouts can last longer. Like a 1 hour match that happened in 2018, I believe there were a couple of superstars that actually had to brawl it out for, I think, for the championship opportunity. And I gotta say, that was one of the best matches I've ever seen back then. And I do remember seeing a match with Seth Rollins and John Cena, and I was like, bro, I've seen the match, and I was thinking, man, John Cena was not selling out. Seth Rollins did sell some out, but he was doing a lot of potential work by putting his blood and sweat and tears against every superstar on his path. John Cena done it all. He's not selling out. A couple superstars were selling out, and they weren't really getting what they wanted because they've been losing so much. And I feel like they deserve their spotlight and their title shot in the pay-per-view that they want to have. So that's why I want to go back and watch it, because I want this to happen at another pay-per-view of Clash of the Castle. Roman Reigns, the undisputed champion, versus Drew McIntyre. So I can't wait to see it, and hopefully I can be able to see it by next month, by September 3rd. But like I said, I want the sliders that I'm going to have for the next video. I want to make sure that these sliders work, and if they work, and I see that there's some changes with the sliders and they work perfectly, that there's no problems with it, and the match can last longer, and if this can stay now for maybe like a 30-minute match, I'm good. That's going to be perfect. Then I can continue doing what I'm doing. So it doesn't have to be a short match. Guys, let me know in the comments below, what do you guys think about these sliders? And if you guys like these sliders, leave a comment below, leave a thumbs up, share and like and subscribe. And I appreciate every one of you for taking the time to see this video. And you definitely want to check these tutorials, because I'm going to make another tutorial video tomorrow, and I'm going to play one match. It's going to be Becky Lynch versus Bianca Belair for the SmackDown Women's Champion. So I'm going to try this sliders, and if that doesn't work, I will update you guys tomorrow, and I'm going to come up with a new sliders for you guys to check out. But for now, I'm going to leave you guys with this video. Feel free to see it, feel free to leave a like and leave a comment below. Tell me what you guys think about the Superstar HUD, because I don't know what that is, and I'm having trouble looking it up on Google. I've done it, I don't know what that is, but I'm going to have to look it up myself. And if I don't get the best answers, then I'm probably going to have to ask you guys about that. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. The first time ever tutorial of 2K22, better explained. Hopefully you guys like it, and I'll be doing more of these tutorials soon. Please expect it. Take care, everyone, and I'm out. Peace.